next character, Raby Baby, a pink bat, is described.
Literally looks like Rouge the Bat. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Boundaries, and if she's in the room, you can bet she's eavesdropping on someone. If she ever
with those big ass ears, of course.
Talk about, she'll just make some up. Following behind Raby, there's Alistair Gator, the alligator.
What? Wait. What is Marty doing in here? From freaking FNAF. I probably said his name wrong. I'm sorry, y'all.
James then said food is always the answer.
Not them already making a fucking fan game. Okay. I think I was just watching this. I don't recall. Oh wait, no, I wasn't. Okay. So we're about to hear someone explain what's going on with these ARGs. Not a commercial again. Get out of my face. I'm actually gonna try this game out. This one. It looks cool. So I'm gonna give it a try. Anime girls with guns.
We just got some huge Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 news, including the last 2 brand new Nightmare Critters, some brand new ARG updates, some brand new merch and plushies, some brand new Poppy Playtime Forever updates, and a whole bunch more. So without further ado, let's just go hop to the video and start off with the brand new Chapter 4 character.
No one can ever replace MatPat.
Starting off, Mob Entertainment posted around 2 days ago the 7th critter of the new Nightmare Critter lineup.
What the fuck?
Being Tui. As you guys can see, this is Tui, and it also helps you say how to pronounce it, being 2E. So, you know, pretty interesting. Definitely reminds me of some other type of Disney-fied rat. But Tui is
hell no.
And that's, you know, love eating garbage and collecting garbage, just living around a whole bunch of garbage, which is just, you know, fitting for a rat. But he also helps the homes of other stuff, being insightful and just helping with random stuff, also like pieces of garbage. As you guys can see, his design looks pretty good actually. I don't really mind it. I like the teeth. I like the charm is also kind of fitting for the trash thing, to be honest. I have no idea what else it would have been, you know.
So
cheese.
What are the Nightmare
like
Critters?
Also, cheese could have been a good mix, but since he loves trash
James
and all that stuff,
said it is like when you get store-brand chips instead of Lay's.
That's what I'm saying. What is this?
Evil thing they're going with, so it makes sense for it to be like bones instead of just a block of cheese. But it also could have been a cheese trap, which would have been a lot more darker. But it looks like that's not the route they've been going with. But then just yesterday, Mob Entertainment posted the final, the 8th, and the last critter, being Maggie Mako. Maggie Mako is actually a shark, which we all kind of knew from the E the minute the logo got revealed. And she's always just thinking about her belly, kind of being an opposite to Picky Piggy, where she still loves food, but instead of being healthy with like fruits or vegetables and stuff like that, she loves eating sweets and everything else that's not good for you. And that's why her scent is actually chocolate, which is something I kind of forgot to mention about. Tui scent was pretty hard for me to say, so I'm not even gonna try.
James
we all know how chocolate smells. Chocolate
different.
So wait, what the point of these guys? They kind of feel reused. Hold on.
Things, they don't really
I'll have to see
good. I mean,
what the fuck the Nightmare Critters are.
James then said it like they're releasing new Pokemons.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, what are the Nightmare Critters? I'm gonna come back to this video in a second. What are these? Is there actually a fucking penguin in this? Okay. What the hell? Sheeprampage is in the game? No way. He's actually in the game. I like to watch his theories when chapter 3 came out. So, holy crap, they actually put him in the game. Well, he's getting his, because he made a whole comment on how he wanted his own critter in the game. Did they actually put him in there? Because I see a sheep, so I'm thinking it's him.
Poppy Playtime's new Nightmare Critters have all been revealed, with 8 new characters in total, and today I'm going to talk about every single one of them to answer
please. What the fuck is this?
No way they added Sky's the YouTuber.
First, let's go over and cover all of the 8 characters in case you missed them, because they're...
Why is Rouge the Bat in this? What the fuck?
Who is described as the black sheep of the bunch.
That's him.
To keep keep her space. She can be distant, quiet, low energy, and it usually requires a lot of coaxing to get her out of the house. She usually perks up after a while, but the next day we're right back to the same tune, labeling these sheep as an introverted and generally
What the fuck?
The next character, Icky Licky, who I'm never getting used to saying, is
That sounds a little sus.
with very similar negative traits reading.
James then said they just made a new Avengers team, bro.
Pretty much. What the fuck is this?
Sport, even though he's naturally talented, he's constantly challenging everyone on absolutely everything, and usually without the outcome he expects. The next character, Raby Baby, a pink bat, is described.
Literally looks like Rouge the Bat. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Boundaries, and if she's in the room, you can bet she's eavesdropping on someone. If she ever
With those big ass ears, of course.
Talk about, she'll just make some up. Following behind Raby, there's Alistair Gator, the alligator.
What? Wait. What is Marty doing in here? From freaking FNAF. I probably said his name wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. I am an original FNAF fan. Okay. The alligator, I was okay with him, but like he can't replace Bunny. I'm sorry.
Said, quick throw a pokeball at it.
Pretty much, yeah. What is Monty doing in here? Holy shit.
I just need to wait around. Next, there is Simon Smoke, the cool dragon described.
Bro, he's like,
and popular,
get smoke weed every day over here. What the fuck?
James then said Monty.
In truth, he's a
Monty, that's his
jerk,
name,
but
yeah.
he does have a knack for getting away with being one. Then there's
So Buddy has money.
Poe the Raven, who is apparently named
James
after
then
Edgar
said I
Allan
also
Poe, the
FNAF
author
fan.
of the horror book The
Oh, me
Raven.
too. I
Poe
love
hates
FNAF.
the sun and thinks it's a cruel trick of nature that the world needs it in the first place. They spend their nights hanging around graveyards and feeling vaguely angry at nothing in particular. They insist it isn't a phase. After them, next on the list is the rat, Tui, who is described Tui.
I love that.
Thanks for the disclaimer. Is a self-proclaimed trash
That's
brother.
good.
When he's not busy
You know,
eating
Suri,
and collecting
Saint,
garbage,
Lurk.
he's a lively conversation.
Oh, dinosaur.
He talks a lot, which is made all the more surprising by him having
You know,
shockingly
Suri,
little to
Saint
say. If you
knows
ever
the
need someone to
36
provide
rip-off porn.
insightful commentary or some random piece of junk, Tui is your guy. Then finally, last but not least,
James
there's
then
Maggie
said they made
Mako,
an
the
entire
shark
new
who is
line of
described.
models for
Maggie is
HoloLens.
always thinking about her belly. She's
I'm
happiest
dead.
with food in her mouth, and believe us, she's
James
not
then
picky,
said ain't no
kinda taking
way.
shots at one of these smiling critters. She loves sweets, but veggies, yuck. Don't be surprised if she takes your
So it's basically
healthy
queso?
eating habits advice with a dabble of sugar, some chocolate syrup, whipped cream, and a big cherry on top, all while laughing at you profusely, poetically scented like chocolate. But that gives us every nightmare critter, and I don't know, I like them. I know a lot of people were upset with them reusing these smiling critters design for chapter 4, but either
Yeah.
way, now this brings us back to our questions. What were these critters and their purpose in
Exactly,
the
like, what the
Playtime
fuck?
co-lore, and how might they show up in chapter 4? Well, as we pointed out, every single one of the critters has negative, undesirable traits. Baba is overly introverted, Icky's a sore loser, Raby is a gossip girl, Alistair is lazy, Simon is a narcissist, Poe is overly edgy, Tubi is a professional yapper, and Maggie Mako is a glutton and eats unhealthy. This is a complete opposite of the original smiling critters, who were notably very lovable and had good traits, meant to be role models for the children.
Yeah, and they were assholes in the game. So does that mean that these guys are even more assholes than
James then
Catnap
said
than them?
queso, but he likes water instead of soda.
Pretty much, yeah. No, but deadass, like, are these guys just the asshole versions of the smiling critters, basically? Because I know Dog Day comes
Mickey
off like an
Hiya shoulda
introvert.
said Hiya.
Well, extrovert. Oh, what's up?
James
Megan?
then said Beba is the average VTuber bro.
No, valid.
Children who were consuming
So how's that
the
negative,
content.
being
and in fact, a
introverted,
lot
man?
of the nightmares are just direct opposites of these smiling critters. For instance, Piggy Piggy represents eating healthy and watching what you eat, while Maggie Mako does the opposite.
So
Piggy
Big
Chicken
Bad.
is a likable people person, Simon Smoke is an egotistical jerk, Hoppy Hopscotch is an energetic, enthusiastic friend, while Alistair
Hyper.
is a sloth and lazy, just to name a few. This makes me believe the nightmare critters, judged from their similar naming scheme, were likely meant to be the villains of these smiling critters directly, since we saw But
in
in
the
the book,
show.
they had plans to have a whole Smiling Critters show before it was canceled due to the Critters line completely failing. But where things get interesting is when you remember why the original Smiling Critters failed in the first place. It was because of the catnap nightmare incident, where children who were ordering the
James
catnap
then
dolls
said
were
they are
reporting
smelling
a
critters but
mysterious red
British.
smoke pouring out of them, the infamous red gas from chapter 3, that was causing the children to turn sluggish and have intense nightmares as a side effect. This caused the catnap critter to get fully removed from the market, but as mentioned in the book, while they tried continuing pushing the rest of the line, this one mistake tarnished all of these Smiling Critters and made it a complete failure PR-wise, causing them to completely tank. However, these Smiling Critters were clearly a good idea. The company spent all of their money trying to make it a success had it not been for one major controversy, and we've even seen in real life
Making me
how
Hiya
lovable
Shada
and
Sether, you
successful
knowing
they
a
are to a
beatbox.
real
Can I
audience.
request for
Everybody loves
beatbox
these Smiling
video?
Critters. But then this
They
brings
look
me
like
to
they
the Nightmare
done smoked
Critters,
some
which
shit.
you know had to have been created after the original Smiling Critters, which first debuted in 1989, but of course before the factory closed in 1995, having to
Rip.
have been created at some point between these 6 years. And this timeline conveniently makes total sense because around the late 80s to 90s, it was a big trend for toys to be a little
Ew.
bit more edgy than normal. Think of the Garbage Pail Kids, Bratz
James
dolls,
then
the
said
Ghostbusters
anyways, in the
franchise,
Go
and
Cuz
many more
dinner,
pieces of
Pato
media.
Pato.
And we've seen Playtime Co. being super hip
Okay.
to actual trends
Thanks for
over the
dropping by.
years, like
Are you gonna
originally making a
beatbox?
baby doll in
Can I request
1950,
a
transitioning
beatbox
to
video?
stuffed animals and action figures in the mid to late 90s, even mimicking the Care Bears trend with the original Smiling Critters that took inspiration from them, both of which created in the late 80s. So it makes sense that in the 90s they would hop on this wave of the edgier, darker toys in the Nightmare Critters. And most importantly, going back to the point of the original Critters being a complete failure because of the catnap controversy, I also wonder if this line was meant to serve as giving Playtime Co. another go at the Critters. The Smiling Critters were clouded in all of the drama revolving catnap, and they tarnished the entire company's reputation permanently, regardless of how good or bad the other toys were. But making the Nightmare Critters as a shift was possibly their chance to wipe away that negative stigma, silently drowning the late Smiling Critters out with a new, very similar wave in the Nightmare Critters that gave them a second chance to capitalize.
Here's my thing. The way to introduce these guys, they should have done it somewhat similarly. Like, my thing is that they should have had, like, maybe... I think it would have been cool if they had, like, a lost episode someone was working on for them to be the enemies or something, but was never posted. Because, you know, there's a bunch of cartoons that have that sort of thing, where it's a lost episode. That would have been cool to promote these guys, you know? I feel like that people's reception wouldn't have been probably not as like, what is this, but be like, okay, you know, because I know a lot of people wanted more episodes of the Smiling Critters show anyways, so this would have been, in my opinion, the best way to really like market them and kind of get them out there.
On the idea. Even in universe, we know there was a market for these characters, as in the toy store section of the Orientation Notebook, we saw that the older teenage orphans in Playcare felt that they had outgrown the Playtime products and had to be discouraged from making dark interpretations of the characters, since as they grew up and became more edgy, mature themes naturally were more interesting to them. So I believe the Nightmare Critters were specifically made
Oh my god.
Thank you for the
That just
follow,
scared me.
Tito.
Thank you for the follow.
teenage audience.
I hope you're having a great
Explains at
day.
least possibly why
Stream
the
on
critters could have been
Instinct.
made
Thank
in
you for
theory,
following
but
Nita
then
Tito.
how will these characters appear in Chapter 4 gameplay-wise? Well, we've seen with literally every other character in the game that there have been bigger bodies, possibly multiple bigger bodies of them all. Huggy, Kissy, Mommy, these Smiling Critters, every toy has some kind of a bigger body. And with there literally being thousands of experiments judged from the experiment numbers, I'm basically 100% confident that these Nightmare Critters will also have bigger bodies of their
Please
own.
don't.
But unfortunately, I don't know how much of a place they will have in the actual game. As when the developers revealed the Nightmare Critters,
Thanks
as
for
I
the cake.
mentioned, it was a pretty controversial move, since people were kind of getting tired of the same Smiling Critters formula with Chapter 3, and found it super disappointing the next main villains were just going to be more critter redesigns. However, to save face, the developers came out and basically confirmed to us that these characters were not going to be the main villains, and were rather just going to to be a
sexual.
side thing to go along with the true Chapter 4 characters. Now, this is good for
thank you
people
for the
who wanted
cake.
something
I love
new,
cake.
but unfortunately,
Green
them
Man said
confirming
KG
this
sheep
also sort of
incoming.
inherently confirms you probably won't be seeing much of the nightmare critters in the main game. I mean, even with these smiling critters who were the main focus of Chapter 3, we knew there were bigger bodies for all 8 of them according to the book lore-wise.
Which we never
but most
fucking
of them
got to
didn't
see.
appear in the game, just a small handful of the most important ones. So at best, considering the nightmare critters are just a side project, we might get to see like Baba Chops or maybe another one of the more popular critters as a bigger body, and the rest of the critters will be delegated to something smaller like their plush forms, kind of like what they did in the Playhouse of Chapter 3.
Which pissed me
But
off.
otherwise, I think the goal with this line was to, one, sell more Smiling Critters merch, but also to be a lore piece in the game to explain how the company was able to move past literally poisoning kids with the original Catnap line by covering it up with something fresh, a similar naming scheme to help people forget, and something to try and hold the company afloat until, well, 1995 happened. But
Rip.
who knows, maybe they'll have a bigger purpose, I'm sure hoping for it. However, while we wait
Yeah.
to see who the real main villains are, check out this video to see me talk about the upcoming Chapter 4 ARG and other news you might have missed.
For sure, like that's my biggest issue. Is just I feel like